Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Red Storm Report right here on MSG. What a week for the Johnnies. We got a jam-packed episode coming up on the show. You want to stick around. First, we'll go behind the scenes and relive the wild ride at the Garden last Sunday against Villanova. The West Coast kid makes his season debut in the red chair. We're going to sit down with Justin Simon in this week's player profile. We'll also show you the special bond that Justin Simon and Marvin Clark share as teammates. Coming up after that, we'll preview Seton Hall, getting ready for a Garden date on Saturday, while also going down memory lane to view the series between the two tri-state foes. And of course, we'll bring you all the highlights as we wrap up the show with some alley-oops and some sweet stuffs. Episode 7 of the Red Storm Report comes at you right now. Pull up a chair. The Red Storm Report's brought to you by Nissan, proud partner of St. John's Athletics. Go Johnnies. Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Red Storm Report right here on MSG. Brandon Tierney right here on campus, of course, in Queens, St. John's University. And the Johnnies picking up the pace. They won 2 out of 3. Little payback against the Butler Bulldogs in overtime here in Carnesecca Arena. And last weekend at a sold-out Madison Square Garden, they erased a 19-point deficit and took out the defending champion Villanova Wildcats before tripping up in Providence against the Friars as we get a look at where St. John's is right now in the standings. The Johnnies are still holding down the 3rd spot in the conference with slightly more breathing room than a week ago. However, next up will be a pivotal matchup with a closely seeded Seton Hall team that got the best of the Johnnies in the opening round of Big East play. Johnny's hoping to pack the Garden once again, 8 p.m. tip at MSG, and if you watch it at home, FS1's where you find it. So despite the recent strong stretch, Providence has proven to be a thorn in the side of St. John's. Coach Cooley's team, they've swept them. Here's Coach Mullen post-game after the loss up in Providence.
It's got to put it behind us. And we got 4 games left. We got to, regroup and play a good game on Saturday. That's the most important thing.
Coming up after the break, we'll go inside the locker room and behind the scenes from that victorious night over Nova. Wow, special. Also, we'll highlight the Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything for St. John's. Justin Simon up next on the Red Storm Report.
This President's Day, there's big news at Nissan Now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Ultimo with intelligent all-wheel drive.
Get a low $179 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima, or lease Nissan Rogue just $199 per month. Get to Nissan, proud partner of St. John's Athletics.
St. John's, it's all about the players. It always has been. There's been a tradition at St. John's. Why? But there was always the players. If you got here, you had a good chance of playing on Broadway. The stage was set. Now all you had to do is perform.
The guy did not signal. Next thing I know, I was all the way up in the air, and I knew it was horrific. They took me right into New York Presbyterian, and they came to me and they said, there's an 80% chance, Tom, that you're going to lose your leg. The next day, the plastic surgeon came. She said, I have an idea. They thought outside the box, completely outside the box. I remember coming out of anesthesia. I saw my little toes. It worked. It worked. It worked.
And back here, the Red Storm Report, Brandon Tierney inside of Taftner Fieldhouse. How about the win against Villanova? The place, the city still buzzing. Back page of the newspapers, radio, TV. Johnnies own the city, and rightfully so. They were down almost 20 points. Justin Simon hits a buzzer beater at halftime and got the momentum going. And you look up, St. John's had their first win at home against Villanova since 2002. And it was so special, we're going to relive it again right now.
we're in great shape. This is our next step. Let's take this next step together for 40 minutes, no matter what goes on.
Fans been waiting for us to hoop in this arena, so let's take advantage of it. It's a blessing to be able to play in this motherfucker. Let's go out there and let's hoop. Gangway on 3. 1, 2, 3. Gangway. Let's get it.
From a sold-out Madison Square Garden, a classic Big East matchup tonight. It's number 13 Villanova and St. John. Smart play here. Mustafa Heron. Wow. Bottle from LJ Figueroa. Great ball movement, and it's Bay beating the shot clock hard. Nobody's guarding Heron. There you go, put it to his hands. Nice out fake to get the defender to fly by, and then he finished. Pascal gets to the rim. Here's Pascal, Dobbs Ferry, New York native. Bounces it underneath for Cosby Roundtree, who's been playing well lately for Villanova. Good trying to get by Simon. Using that pivot foot beautifully. Hockey 5-on-4 right now. They'll take advantage of it. Primo promptly does. Got it. Yeah, they're too smart. And now they like this matchup. Booth trying to get by Queta. Did a nice job to stick with him, but it led to a Pascal 3. They'll try it again in the fast break. Simon pulls up, moves around the defender, and misses again. Pons a second try. He's got his first bucket. What a find to Cosby Roundtree. Shouts. Terrell with a steal. Third in the conference in that category. Now can he convert it on the other end? He can this time. Gave up the dribble. Extra pass for a City Bay 3. Continue to focus on the defensive end. Figueroa again. What's he have, like 10 steals? Here he is into the lane. Lays it off for Simon. Bay gets it off. In and out with 2 seconds. Simon will heave it. And hit it! Half finishes with a bang and has St. John's, more importantly, within 11. St. John's needs a win right here because they're talking about, we win this one, we're going dancing. Give him some room. Instead gives it up for Clark, who's got his first points tonight. At over 1,000 for his career now. Figueroa almost came up with a steal. Now they've gotten Gillespie in the spot, and he does get it. Simon's the trailer. He'll take it himself. Here's Heron. Got it. Different ball game, Joe. Jamori Pons leaning, hitting, continuing the run for St. John's at 11-0. Pascal driving hard, lost the handle. Look up, you got one. Oh, they missed Figueroa. Find him now. He steps back and hits a 3 to bring St. John's back to within 1. Not having the depth. Good skip pass. Figueroa puts St. John's in front. Figueroa's on another level right now. Weave action here. Figueroa has felt it today, and he continues to, putting St. John's back in front. Booth goes by Clark and gets rejected. Into Pons, he'll toss it up. That's going to do it. What a turnaround. .65, the final score here at the Garden. And a statement win for Chris Mullin and St. John's as they try to get back to the NCAA tournament.
We need that win for where we want to go. We need that win in this building and for you guys. And this place, there ain't nothing like that. Damn, that was sweet. But we talked about the next step. That's the next step. A team like that, it's a sold out guard. Now this is our place, man. Great job. Great. You're so proud of us.
Yo, congrats to Marv on 1K. Congrats to Marv. 1K. Yeah, big Marv!
It was phenomenal to see us come together as a team, and not lose that game. I told y'all that's a win we need to get us going, get our confidence, our swagger going in the right direction.
Together, 1, 2, 3. Together.
Let's just put that on a loop and let's watch it all summer long when we're craving for something good. By the way, that win, most bracketologists believe that that's the win that punctuates St. John's and their return to the NCAA tournament. And all over the win, his fingerprints, that'll be Justin Simon, doing a little bit of everything, leading the break, hitting threes, attacking the rim, dishing, obviously playing great defense. We know he locks down. Here's what he's done so far on the season. Simon really does it all for the Red Storm. His impact also goes beyond the numbers, as he's the glue guy that keeps everybody together on the floor and is a leader in the locker room. So as you can tell, obviously does a little bit of everything. The transfer from Arizona. Let's learn a little bit more about Justin Simon, Mr. Do-It-All, as we take a look at the player profile brought to you by Nissan. Justin Simon, it's his turn right now.
Simon will heave it and hit it! Simon, two-handed jam.
I love everything about Justin. I love his defense, his rebounding, his activity. And I think his offensive game has improved each and every game, really.
It's my brother for life. Definitely would be, at my wedding someday. Him being a Cali guy, me being a Midwest guy, there's some things that we just kind of like clicked on. I could just tell, he just needed somebody to push him, and I just wanted to be that guy for him. And he's helped me, in a ton of ways. He's been playing the game longer than me. There's just certain, field type things that he's helped me with. Certain things just helping me adjust my game on the floor.
I grew up, around a lot of athletes. My mom played basketball, dad played football. Dad actually played both. Just growing up, they really didn't force me to play any sports. I just naturally found my way to basketball and football, and then that grew on me. In high school, I had to make a decision between football and basketball, and I ended up deciding to stick with basketball.
And I think Justin understands what it is to be a winning player. He's another guy who can go out there and get 20, fill up the stat sheet, but he also is a type of guy that doesn't have to score to have a big impact on the game. I think he realizes that. So whatever that particular game calls for, he's more than equipped to do it.
Here on my official visit, everything stood out. The coaching staff, Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, those two guys themselves are Hall of Famers, and they've done everything I'm trying to do. Think about New York, the atmosphere at Madison Square Garden is crazy. New York itself, you can blow up. It's a big stage. Here on my official visit, I felt that love, that connection, and that feel that this is something special here, and I wanted to be a part of something special. We have a young group. I've been in college for this is going to be my fourth year, so just being my knowledge to the game and just sharing that with others is what I try to do.
Coming up, we'll highlight the bond between teammates that became brothers. Then we go back in time to check out all the key moments in the long storied series history between the Seton Hall Pirates and the St. John's Red Storm. Stick around.
This President's Day, there's big news at Nissan Now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Ultima with intelligent all-wheel drive.
Get a low $179 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima, or lease Nissan Rogue just $199 per month. Get to Nissan, proud partner of St. John's Athletics.
The guy did not signal. Next thing I know, I was all the way up in the air, and I knew it was horrific. They took me right into New York Presbyterian, and they came to me and they said, "There's an 80% chance, Tom, that you're going to lose your leg." The next day, the plastic surgeon came. She said, "I have an idea." They thought outside the box, completely outside the box. I remember coming out of anesthesia. I saw my little toes. It worked. It worked. It worked.
St. John's, it's all about the players. It always has been. There's been a tradition at St. John's. Why? But there was always the players. If you got here, you had a good chance of playing on Broadway. The stage was set. Now all you had to do is perform.
And back on the Red Storm Report, hopefully you guys enjoy the last piece on Justin Simon, the player profile. But we didn't throw in there because we wanted to set this up separately. The unique relationship, the bond, his brother, his right-hand man, Marvin Clark, both came in as transfers with the vision of getting St. John's back to prominence. The relationship is tight, unique, and special. Here's a look at that, Marvin Clark and Justin Simon.
Me and Marv, we met on my official visit here. We both took visits here at the same time. I think we kind of both had that feel that like we could be a part of something special, be a part of something to turn the culture around, get back to those winning days.
We kind of had our individual talks with Coach, but I know me and Sam, it just really started off with just wanting an opportunity, just wanting to play. We coming from the schools we came from, we were role players, didn't really want to play in the roles that we're playing here, and we believed in each other and felt like we could play at a high level. And we came here, worked hard, always talked about, getting it back, we're gonna be nice, just talking about it and coming in here, seeing trophies, seeing Coach's old stuff, hearing about his accolades and what he did here. And the fan base, was touching base with me every day, my sit out year, talking about how it used to be back in the day, and how they're gonna get it rocking, and to finally, be able to do that, put in the work, see it pay off, and then, of course, we're not done yet, but it's just awesome being able to see it. And then for Coach,
that sit out year, me and Marv, it was a daily grind. We got after it every day. I had his back, he had my back. Team would be on the road, we would be in the gym. Carrying over to the next year, we had that chemistry and that bond that we could share and make contagious throughout the team. What makes Marvin stand out is just his everyday approach, to the game, his mental, his mind frame, just how he is, how he handles himself. He's very unique in that way.
But we've clicked from day one, and he's a funny dude, goofy dude, silly dude. We're really the same person in a lot of ways, especially off the floor. When people see us, like if they'll see me, not see him, and be like, "Where's Justin?" Or they'll see him and not see me and be like, "Where's Marvin?" So that's the kind of relationship we have, man. We're like this.
Great stuff there, Justin Simon and Marvin Clark. By the way, if St. John's going to get to where we all want them to go, you know that Clark and Simon will have their fingerprints all over the rest of the season, including a rematch coming up this weekend at the Garden against Seton Hall. Johnny's looking for payback. That was a tough one. You know where I'm coming from. How about this? The history for St. John's and Seton Hall, as deep and as storied maybe as any other programs in the conference. Let's take a look at the great rivalry between the Johnnies and the Pirates coming at you right now.
The rivalry between New York and New Jersey is intense. It's the city versus the suburbs, the subway versus the turnpike, the Garden versus the Rock. But New York and New Jersey also have a lot in common, especially the college hoops. St. John's and Seton Hall are both Catholic, both metropolitan, and both in the Big East. But outside of that, it's a dogfight each time they step on the court.
The 100th meeting between St. John's and Seton Hall.
The history between the two programs runs deep. Seton Hall was St. John's fifth most played opponent, with the first meeting dating back all the way to 1909. When the Pirates make the trip to MSG on Saturday, it will be the 101st matchup between the two schools. There's been some milestone games throughout the rivalry, including Joe Lapchick's first game as head coach, Boo Harvey dropping in 40 points, and Lou Carnesecca's sweet 500th career win, which punctuated a Hall of Fame career for Sweet Louie. The Johnnies owned the rivalry until the late 80s. Matter of fact, it really wasn't much of a rivalry at all. From 1909 to 1988, St. John's handed Seton Hall 41 L's in 50 tries. They owned them. And the tides turned a bit, however, when P.J. Carlissimo took over for Bill Raftery. From Seton Hall's Final Four appearance in '89 to the end of the 20th century, St. John's went just 7-13 against the Hudson River rivals. Ever since then, it's been back and forth, with both teams winning on their home court last year. And how can we forget earlier this season and how that ended? Let's just say the Johnnies have a little unfinished business to handle. In the all-time series matchup, the Red Storm hold the advantage over the Pirates, 59-41. Coming up, we'll go inside women's hoops, check out all the highlights from their 4-game win streak earlier this month. Don't go anywhere. The Red Storm Report rolls on.
St. John's, it's all about the players. It always has been. There's been a tradition at St. John's. Why? But there was always the players. If you got here, you had a good chance of playing on Broadway. The stage was set. Now all you had to do is perform.
This President's Day, there's big news at Nissan Now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Ultima with intelligent all-wheel drive.
Get a low $179 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima, or lease Nissan Rogue just $199 per month. Get to Nissan, proud partner of St. John's Athletics.
The guy did not signal. Next thing I know, I was all the way up in the air, and I knew it was horrific. They took me right into New York Presbyterian, and they came to me and they said, there's an 80% chance, Tom, that you're going to lose your leg. The next day, the plastic surgeon came. She said, I have an idea. They thought outside the box, completely outside the box. I remember coming out of anesthesia. I saw my little toes. It worked. It worked. It worked.
And that'll just about wrap it up here on the Red Storm Report. But before we go, let's pay a little homage to the women's team, who ripped off 4 straight wins before having that streak snapped. And after that, you enjoy those clips. It's time for the New York Presbyterian Amazing Plays of the Week. This week, it's the Alley-Oop edition. Always fun. Enjoy this, and we'll catch you next week right here on the Red Storm Report.
You know, we got a lot of fight. You know, we've got pieces in there that I think are really doing what they can, and I still believe they don't fully understand their capability.
Hand in the face of Saunders that time.
You know, we feel that she's one of the best point guards in the country. The way that she can play with pace and be under control at the same time is certainly something that's impressive to watch.
1 for 2. Quick inbound pass for Willaire. Ahead to Breelove. Off the inbound pass, a fast break bucket for St. John's. Drives all the way to the hole, and she is rejected. Kayla Chara. Transition the other way, and Bailey puts it in.
We haven't changed a lot. We're still doing the same thing. We're still coming to practice the same way, but we're making better decisions.
Getting a chance to play. Oh.
To shoot that 3, she would not. Poppy on the drive. And it falls +1. What a finish. England now leading 2-on-1.
You know, Tiana's gone through some stretches. She doesn't have it easy. She plays a lot of minutes. We need her to be really good for us. When we move the ball and we get rotation and we get ball reversal and we get those shots off of that, we're in good shape.
There from England to Elisa Cavey.
Put into words the type of kid that Jasmine is. Has literally now grown into a role that we hoped for.
England. Tough shot over Sarda.
Being able to compete the way we did. Couldn't be prouder of them. I told them in the locker room, just really happy for them and the way that they fought, especially in this last part of the year.
It's a sold-out Carneseca Arena, 5,600 jam-packed in the alley to LJ Figueroa.
St. John's has cut it to 3. Goveds pass, intercepted by Figueroa, and what a save.
This is at their best.
Oh, look out! Heron flying through the air for the jam.
Turn you over. They're already in the top 5 in America. In turnover ratio, and they'll hang from the rim as Justin Simon goes baseline. In the offensive machine that he was the few games coming into this doubleheader for St. John's. There's a lob and a finish by Justin Simon, plus the foul. The feed from Figueroa.
Now that is a terrific play.
Fouls an issue. Teagan in a little back screen. And they worked on that. That's why Wojo has his timeout.
Quick hitter. Akinjo. Oh, Barnes devours it. Watch this. Figueroa lob and upstairs for the jam. Simon says dunk. Woo! Simon.
Figueroa got a hand on it, and the steal. Figueroa, Simon, yes!
The Red Storm Report is brought to you by Nissan, proud partner of St. John's Athletics. Go Johnnies.
St. John's, it's all about the players. It always has been. There's been a tradition at St. John's. Why? But there was always the players. If you got here, you had a good chance of playing on Broadway. The stage was set. Now all you had to do is perform.
This President's Day, there's big news at Nissan Now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Ultima with intelligent all-wheel drive.
Get a low $179 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima, or lease Nissan Rogue just $199 per month. Get to Nissan, proud partner of St. John's Athletics.
The guy did not signal. Next thing I know, I was all the way up in the air, and I knew it was horrific. They took me right into New York Presbyterian, and they came to me and they said, there's an 80% chance, Tom, that you're going to lose your leg. The next day, the plastic surgeon came. She said, I have an idea. They thought outside the box, completely outside the box. I remember coming out of anesthesia. I saw my little toes. It worked. It worked. It worked.